You have been lied to. The moment you mix baking soda and vinegar, they cancel each other out. That is just an overdramatic chemical reaction. It isn't actually cleaning anything. I have spent over a decade running a commercial cleaning company, reading safety data sheets, testing products and learning what actually works and what doesn't. And I can tell you, people use this mix for laundry, drains, soap scum, even bacteria, and it is all mostly wasted effort. You have been tricked by a science fair experiment. So, in this video, I will break down the pH science that proves you're wasting time and money. As someone who has spent countless hours reading SDS sheets and testing hundreds of professional cleaning products, I have seen one mistake repeated more than any other by people: the vinegar and baking soda cleaning hack. When you pour them together, you're watching the most spectacular 10 seconds of cleaning. The dramatic fizz isn't cleaning power, it is simply just carbon dioxide escaping. That's it. Think about it. Gas doesn't leave dirt, it doesn't cut through grease, and it certainly doesn't kill bacteria. Although that frothy fizz might look impressive, it won't touch the grime that actually matters. It just rises and leaves. Yet people use this mix on pretty much anything and expect it to magically dissolve the dirt away. If you have ever tried this hack and wonder why it didn't work, hit like. There is a reason and I'll explain it step by step. Why it fails every time. To understand why this mix fails at every task, you need to look at what actually is left after the show. Here is the chemistry and proof in plain terms. Vinegar is an acid with a pH of about 2.4. Baking soda is a base with a pH of roughly 8.3. When you mix them, they fight it out. The acid neutralizes the base neutralizes the acid, and what is left is a neutral, salty water. A final solution at pH 7. The actual reaction looks like this. Acetic acid, which is vinegar, plus sodium bicarbonate, which is the baking soda. The result is sodium acetate plus water and carbon dioxide, which is gas. Once the fizz disappears, you're left with sodium acetate dissolved in water. Sodium acetate, the same chemical used in salt and vinegar crisps flavoring, but that doesn't make it a cleaner. Here is the crucial point. Neutral compound that doesn't clean anything. The acid that could break down minerals, it's gone. The alkalinity that could cut grease, gone. Everything people expect this mix to do, it literally cannot do because the chemistry makes them cancel each other out. And this is why every miracle cleaning hack using vinegar and baking soda fails every time. Why it is useless for cleaning? Cleaning isn't just about fizz or bubbles. Real cleaning relies on chemistry that actually stays active long enough to work and target the right problems. Here is what effective cleaning needs. Surfactants to lift and suspend dirt and grease. All eco brands uses some form of plant-based surfactants, acids or bases that stays active long enough to break down minerals or fats. Enzymes for organic dirt like sweat, food or oils. Solvents for stubborn residue like adhesives or cooking films. Oxidizers or disinfectants for killing bacteria. Different brands use different systems. Some use lactic acid, quartz, oxygen-based compounds or probiotics. Agitation to physically dissolve grime or so-called elbow grease. Volcano reaction. Vinegar and baking soda gives you none of that. It neutralizes itself in seconds. Sodium acetate can't cut grease, can't dissolve soap scum, can't remove odors. Bacteria just sits there completely untouched. The reaction is over before anything useful happens, so you're right back where you started. Of course, minus the effect, time and money wasted. So, it's time to break down the myths people believe about the mix one by one and kill them properly. The myths people believe. Let's go through the most common claims about vinegar and baking soda and see what actually happens. It deodorizes. Reality, people love to say baking soda absorbs smells when it's dry. That's true, but only when it's dry. Sprinkle it on carpet or have it in the fridge and it can trap odors. But once it's dissolved in water, its ability disappears. Mix it with vinegar and the reaction neutralizes it almost immediately. The final solution, the sodium acetate in water that does nothing for smells at all. In other words, if you are hoping for laundry that smells fresh or a bathroom that actually smells clean, this mix won't get you there. It kills bacteria. Reality, no evidence. Vinegar alone can reduce some microbes slightly because it is acidic, but it is not a disinfectant. Once you add baking soda, it neutralizes the acidity entirely and leaving nothing that kills germs. Surfaces treated with this mix are still covered in bacteria. Reality, the frothy volcanic reaction everyone loves. It is just carbon dioxide gas escaping. It does not touch grease, grime or soap scum. The foam rises and pops and disappears, completely useless for cleaning. It unclogs drains. Reality, the reaction only happens at the surface of your drain. Your blockages are far deeper down the pipe, sometimes even a meter. So the fizz never reaches the clog and your drain stays blocked. All you get is bubbles at the top. It's great for laundry. Reality, the fizz happens in the detergent drawer before water reaches your clothes. By the time your laundry is actually washing, all that's left is a weak, neutral water with sodium acetate. We have done a video about the laundry and how to keep it nice and fresh. I will link it up here if you want to have a look. By the time your laundry is actually washing, all that is left is a weak, neutral water with sodium acetate. Basically, you're washing your clothes in weak salty water. It removes soap scum. In reality, vinegar alone can help dissolve light soap scum because it's acidic, enough to break down calcium soap. But once you add baking soda, the acidity disappears and the mix becomes useless. It removes limescale. Reality, this is one of the most common claims. People use it on kettles, taps, shower heads, thinking the fizz will dissolve limescale. But watch what actually happens. I gave them both 3 minutes contact time and wiped them clean. No scrubbing, just the pure effect of the solution. The volcano side, limescale still there. The descaler side, gone. Vinegar alone can slowly dissolve limescale because it is acidic. But the second you add the baking soda, you neutralize that acid. Now it has pH of 7, completely useless against mineral deposits. You are watching the cleaning power destroy itself in real time. It is quite impressive, I would agree. If this combination actually worked, every professional cleaning company in the world would use it. They don't. They rely on chemicals and materials that are proven effective and long-lasting. No tricks that fizz in 10 seconds and then do nothing. Now that we have seen why the fizz is a total illusion, it is worth asking, why do so many people think this works? Why did we all grow up believing this was some kind of a magic cleaner? Why people think it works? There are two main reasons. First, the fizz tricks your brain. Movement looks like progress. Your brain fills in the rest. You see action, so you assume cleaning is happening even when it is not. Second, it only seems to work when the dirt wasn't really stuck in the first place. If it was wiped away easily, plain water could done exactly the same job. The volcano didn't clean, it just made feel you that you hacked the system. If you ever fallen for this fizz trick, hit like and comment below. I am showing the real science-backed cleaners that actually work and won't waste your time. So, if the fizz can actually remove grease, lift grime, kills germs or deodorizes, what actually works? What works instead? No wishy-washy magical hacks, just real chemistry that actually works. Here is what actually works, real chemistry, no reaction tricks. For general cleaning, use surfactants. These are the ingredients in soaps and detergents that lift dirt and grease from surfaces so it can be rinsed away. Without them, scrubbing is mostly just elbow grease and moving grime around. For odors, use oxygen-based cleaners or proper detergents. These break down odor-causing molecules rather than just masking the smell. Unlike dissolved baking soda, they stay active long enough to neutralize the odors effectively. For soap scum, use acidic cleaner with a pH between 2 and 4. strong enough to break down the mineral deposits and soap residue, safe enough for bathroom surfaces. For limescale, use citric acid, lactic acid, or the easiest way is just use a proper descaler with a pH between 2 and 3. These stay acidic long enough to actually dissolve calcium deposits. Vinegar alone works, but it is very slow. For grease, use alkaline cleaners with a pH between 9 and 11. Baking soda has a pH of 8.3, so it is far too weak to cut through real kitchen grease. Stronger alkalinity breaks down oils and fats so they can be wiped away easily. For drains, use hot water, surfactants if necessary, and mechanical cleaning are the only reliable solutions. The fizz from the vinegar and baking soda reaction simply will never reach the blockage. It might help a little bit with a very light blockage, which in reality you would have removed anyway with a bit of mechanical cleaning or even only hot water. Now, that we know exactly what works and why the vinegar and baking soda hack fails every time, it is worth stepping back and taking a look at the bigger picture. You have done this, everyone done this at some point. Cleaning blogs recommended. This volcano pattern isn't just about one household hack. It is repeated over and over in kitchens, bathrooms and laundry rooms everywhere. Understanding this pattern will help you stop falling for it and start using chemistry that actually delivers results. The volcano doesn't work. It never worked. And now you know why everyone who told you it did was very wrong. The fizz looks impressive, but it doesn't clean, doesn't deodorize, doesn't disinfect definitely, and doesn't unclog drains, and definitely doesn't belong in your laundry. If you want real proven cleaning tips and hacks you can actually use, hit subscribe now. Use real chemistry, get real results. Save the volcano for school science fairs. I am Antoni from EcoDrift. Thank you for watching.